2.
We'll take a look here, and Fusion Bleach now looking to make it just a little bit more of a game here. A pass coming in from Perg. Ball now sent in again. 3:10 on the clock. Those of you in chat, thanks for sticking by. We have a lot going on here as far as stream today. So again, thank you so much for sticking by here while we get these things solved here for technical difficulties. Fuego now going to look to drop it down. Fusion Bleach is there again, looking to drop it up for Fishy. And now sent back towards the midline. Stewie is there just bullying Perg. And now Trash pops it up into the air. Fishy is there to put it back into the Miracles territory. Now Fuego is going to give chase. We'll lose possession. Now ball sent in by Perg. Looking for one more. Taken away by Stewie. Fusion Bleach now into the corner we go. Trash is going to send it right back deep into the Bemidji Lumberjacks territory. Fishy just trying to get it out of the zone. Taken now by Perg. Sent towards the net. Stewie able to clear that one away. Looking to get the touch from Fuego. Fusion Bleach now centering, looking for a teammate. He's got Perg. Sent in one more. Stewie able to clear it away from the goal, but not able to get it out of the zone. It's Fuego. Now meets with Stewie as well. Trash is there, trying to get it away from the box. Gotta be careful. Fishy gets credit for the shot on net. Now Perg sends it off the crossbar as well. Just under the 2-minute warning here, Flash, and ultimately, even though they came out to a 2-0 lead here early in game number 2, the Minneapolis Miracles kind of been on their back foot for the last minute or so.
Yeah, if you didn't, folks, if you didn't know it, we didn't say anything, you'd think you'd be watching a replay of game number 1 here, because as we mentioned between the break, that these teams, just had a back and forth go of everything in game number 1, kind of laying everything on the line. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a repeat of game number 2, because there wasn't that much to fix right from the get-go. Great showing from each team. I mean, there's some obvious mentions of, you don't want to give your opponent too many goals, and there's little things of cleaning up those corner pocket plays, if you will, but Fusion Bleach able to take that one away, cut off by Trash. Necessary touch there before the Lumberjacks got any momentum going on that one. But yeah, as we hit our 60-second horn once again, Fusion Bleach trying to play some mind games there. Perg able to set this one up, cut off by Trash once again. Fuego with the redirect there, trying to extend the lead for the Miracles. Fusion Bleach once again with a one-man opportunity there, but cut off once again. And, with 40 seconds and counting here, if the Lumberjacks want to force another overtime and have a crack at potentially stealing game number 2 here, they got to do it and do it quick.
A nice save by Fuego to keep the lead for the Minneapolis Miracles. Now Trash looking to take it the entire way. He does. Gets the dunk on Fusion Bleach and solidifies the lead for the Minneapolis Miracles. Trash taking it the entire way and then some on the dunk on Fusion Bleach.
Yeah, secured the lead indeed. And with 26 seconds left, barring if the Lumberjacks are able to score a kickoff goal here, it's looking almost impossible for them to come back, and the Miracles could extend this to an early 2-0 lead in the best-of-7 series. So final 15 seconds. Trash with a awkward flip there, but kept the ball going in the right direction for his team. Fuego playing some mind games there, knowing they just need to stall out for time, don't want to get too gutsy here, and then make any unnecessary openings for their opponents in the Bemidji Lumberjacks. As final seconds finally expire off the screen there, winners Miracles, as well as we get that pulled up for you.
I will take a look here at the stats here in just a few moments. But again, the Minneapolis Miracles, even though they were working on 3 shots and 3 goals, they put up 6 saves as well. So the Minneapolis Miracles defense is going to be the ones that are winning here in game number 2. But man, we talk about here as well that the Bemidji Lumberjacks, they're coming in kind of a surprise as far as teams that would still be here in the winners bracket. But the Bemidji Lumberjacks had 12 shots on that, but they're only able to get 1 through.
Yeah, and this could be I could be completely right in saying this, or I could be just so far off the mark. But I feel like with the Lumberjacks, some of their success has come off of Fishy, right? I feel like I've seen his name in the chat before when we've casted the Lumberjacks. And I feel like that's evident on the field as well, where if this team can get Fishy going, and the most he's had for game number 2 here was those 3 shots on net. Otherwise, he's sitting as goose eggs for every other column on the stat sheet. So I feel like if the team can kind of empower him and he can find openings of his own, right, Fishy can be the key to unlock, a potential run for the Lumberjacks here. But if that's not the case here, Spencer, and then the Lumberjacks do fall in our winners final right here, it's not over for them quite yet, is it?
No, the Bemidji Lumberjacks, it is a best of 7 series. So again, there's still plenty of time for the Bemidji Lumberjacks to get up here and make, even sort of run, taking back game number 3 would be pretty phenomenal here for the Bemidji Lumberjacks, at least to get something on the board and get things going here. So again, we look to start game number 3 here in just a few moments. Again, dealing with a couple of technical issues here. So again, stick around here, chat, while we get that taken care of here. So we will get that taken care of. But again, I mean, as far as, in general, the Bemidji Lumberjacks, again, if they could take game number 3, wouldn't necessarily call it the start of a comeback, but at least wouldn't hurt their chances to at least make some noise here in the later stages of this series.
Yeah, absolutely. And, if things really go south, they'll end up in the losers final with one last ditch attempt to get back to the grand finals. So, and who knows, folks, we could end up with a rematch in the grand finals of the Lumberjacks and Miracles. Just depends how the rest of the teams and matchups shake up. So, that being said, Spencer, on live TV, of course, because that's the best play to do it. Am I still in your group? I feel like I have abandoned everybody.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and back out of the game? We're gonna serve a reset so we can.
Yeah, I left said match, but just wanted to make sure I wasn't. Look, I know you guys were making fun of my car earlier off stream. I'll change it if I really need to, if that gets me back in the stream. I'm just saying.
Right.
Stream can't see my car. We'll leave it a mystery. But it's what do I want to say? The best damn car you'll ever see. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, live TV, there's nothing like it. Yeah, as we get a couple of things solved here in the back end as far as that's concerned. So yeah, again, we're still getting those taken care of here. Final touches being taken care of. We're all going to join back up, and it's going to be a party again with the Minnesota Miracles up 2-0 here in this winners final match between the Minneapolis Miracles and the Bemidji Lumberjacks. So again, getting things taken care of here. We are just about set to come back here for game number 3. Again, thank you so much for sticking around here while we get those taken care of here. So I mean, Flashy, we talk about here what the Bemidji Lumberjacks are going to need to do. I mean, honestly, their offense is doing very well against the Minneapolis Miracles. It's just that their defense kind of letting them down as we head into game number 3.
Right. And what I'd be curious to see in game number 3 here, which is a good reminder, folks, if you're just joining us, thank you. Best of 7 series for this current matchup. The Miracles currently leading at 2-0, so don't want to call it too soon, but if they can tack on 2 more, that is the Miracles. If they can tack on 2 more, this current matchup between them and the Lumberjacks will be wrapped up in short order tonight. So, and like I said, I made a potentially bold prediction moments ago where this could be wrapped up in as early as 4 or 5 games, as exciting as it would be to see to go to a map 7, right? But what I'll be curious here, though, revisiting our game 3 matchup between the Miracles and Lumberjacks, is can the Lumberjacks score first, right? We've seen that time and time again of any stream we've casted and any matchup you present in front of us. If one team gets out to a hot lead and dominates, they tend to score first, right? And you're forced to play catch up. What happens when, in this case, if the Lumberjacks score first, right? The shoe's kind of on the other foot. How do the Miracles then respond from playing behind? Because we know the Lumberjacks are certainly capable. Just as you mentioned, though, Spencer, they got to polish up their defense a little bit to at least stay competitive in this current series. And I'll throw it out there to wrap up this point where if the Lumberjacks can indeed score first, I'd be real curious to see kind of how that third match plays out. Otherwise, if the Miracles do score first, it could, we could just really just see a repeat of game 1 and game 2 at that point. So we will see nonetheless once we get back into a proper field and a proper matchup for the elusive game number 3 between all these teams here tonight.
Yeah, and again, still getting things solved here on the back end. So again, thank you for your patience, chat, while we get this taken care of here. And get things set here for game number 3 between these two teams. We're going to head to DFH Stadium here in just a few moments. But yeah, I mean, game number 3 is going to be a very important test here, I think, for the Bemidji Lumberjacks, because, you know, once they, once they, you know, if they can take game number 3, it's going to be very important between these two teams. Sheriff, if you can see here, we're having some weird problems here because we've got the lobby info, but there's 2 separate maps. We're not quite sure what's happening here. So back in the control room, I think we might want to change the lobby info and get that out, because there seems to be a couple different maps here. So I think we'll take it to like 6 or 7 there, Wolf, as far as, you know what I'm talking about there. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to that, I mean, live TV, bro. I mean, I tell you, you and I have been doing this for 4.5 years, 9 semesters, you know, with our college scene. And man, you know, when things start to go wrong, they go wrong very quickly. But it's all about, you know, how things handle things on the sides. You know, a big shout out to Wolf, who's and Chad, I tell you, when he is frantically flipping through screens to try to get this to work, I mean it. It is both heartening and disheartening to see the amount of screens that are being flipped through here. So again, shout out to our producer Wolf here, getting everything to work here as quickly as possible. We are headed into a completely different lobby now. Hopefully that will solve our issues here as we look to get game number 3 again, hopefully underway between these two teams. And sure, like I said, you know, game number 3 going to be important for the Lumberjacks. I mean, if they drop game number 3, I mean, that's a pretty big demoralizer there.
Yeah, if anything else, I might have to plug back in my controller. That's the whole reason the whole stream went kaput anyways, folks, is I unplugged my controller, and then it just caused absolute chaos on the back end. So I might have to plug it back in, sub in for one of these Lumberjack players, and show them how it's done. As a Grand Platinum, Grand Diamond player, as they say. Never heard of it? Go check it out sometime in your ranked games. So, new fresh 5 minutes on the clock, a new proper field here for both teams, and Lumberjacks getting something going here. High flyer on that one. Perg able to settle that one, but it's going to get cut off by Stewie. Nice line drive there. Lumberjacks kind of double committed there, but no harm, no foul. Everyone's going to be able to recollect on this one as Fago makes one last ditch attempt. Does go wide left. Trash unable to collect that one, and Stewie sends it a little wide right. So, as usual, not only chaos off stream, behind the scenes, but chaos on the field, on stream as well, folks. So you're treated to the best and only finest broadcast team money can buy. And in other words, that sound appropriate here. So, as, look, man, sometimes it's hard to talk and multitask and do things at the same time, but. Where else do you find genuine, unique content like this, folks? The answer is nowhere. When you put a couple Wisconsin boys in front of you to call this wonderful action that is the MNCS Season 7 championships. It all wraps up tonight for the Premier League, as the Miracles had a chance to go up early in this one. Fusion Bleach able to get one down the field about halfway there, kind of missed his second opportunity, as I believe Fishy or Perg there was kind of running offense there, trying to demo whoever's in front of them, but unable to capitalize there. So back to the drawing board for both teams. In the first 90 seconds off the clock here, Spencer, zeros on the board. Game 1 and Game 2 looked a lot different. The Miracles were able to get something going there for their team, as Fishy, last man up, trying to get something for his team there. But yeah, like I said, first 90 seconds, almost 120 seconds gone here, and we're still staring down a couple of goose eggs on the board.
Yeah, game number 3, again, both teams, Bemidji really kind of solidifying their defense, playing a lot of two-man goalie situations. Now the ball flipped in to the side of the Miracles. Stewie's got to head back, and with one boost to work with, he's got to get something going here for the Miracles. But again, the Lumberjacks just kind of solidifying their defense, not worrying about a whole lot else right now, just taking their time in between possessions, in between touches, making sure they're making picture-perfect touches as the ball now sent in towards the net. Gonna come off the left post. Trash able to settle that one down away from the box. And now a centering pass coming in. Fuego is there. Can't get the touchdown, Stewie. Gonna flip it over, looking for one more touch. Cleared away by Fusion Bleach. Now back towards the midline we go. Fishy gonna give Chase 0 boost to work with. Gonna look to get it past Fuego. Ball sent in. Fusion Bleach looking to get it up. Can't get there. And now Stewie back towards the midline we go. Sent in. Fishy gonna try to get the touch on the back wall. Stewie looking to send it down to Fuego, who's gonna try to send it to Trash. Can't get it there in time. And now Perg backflips on the touch. Fusion Bleach in the corner. 2 minutes to go here in game number 3. And now the demo comes in on Fuego on Perg by Fuego, excuse me. And now Perg looking to get it towards the net. Cleared away by Stewie. Fuego now there, trying to get it back out of the zone. Gets it down. A bump comes in on Trash. He was coming in to make a touch on that play by Fuego. Now Stewie's got to be careful. Trash able to get back, make the save. A lot of defensive plays here in the last 3.5 minutes here, Flash. As, again, both teams just trying to catch the other off guard with that one critical mistake.
Yeah, and it's, at first this game seemed to be, you know, we flipped the script a little bit of, we switched over to quantity over quality, but it seems like now things, because we're still sitting at zeros on the board, like I said, with almost 60 seconds left on the clock. It seems like the teams are getting a little anxious here, and they're just, at this point, just trying to throw anything that'll stick here as Fusion Bleach tries to pop one off the ceiling there. There's the 60-second horn, as mentioned, and Perg. Golden opportunity here as the Miracles are forced to reset. They win the 50 there. Fishy, nice pop up there, 19 boost and a dream. Unable to make anything happen with that. Is caught up by Stewie. Good redirect there from Perg, but Fuego. Oh God, we gotta. Oh, thank God, break it up. We don't want to see a rule 1. Get it out of here. Boo. Boo. We don't. Who let that mystery man, that heckler, into the broadcast booth? That sounded almost identically to me, Spencer. Jesus Christ, we got him out of here. I gotta change the locks in between these streams. Come on, Wolf. Anyways.
Fishy trying to settle it down. Gonna give chase now, given away by Perg. Sent in towards the box. Gonna come off the back wall. Stewie is there. Final 10 seconds. Fishy keeping it in the zone. Final push here for the Lumberjacks. Settling it down towards the net. Still in the air. Fusion Bleach looking to send it in. And he will with 1 second to go. The Bemidji Lumberjacks take the lead in game number 3.
Well, boy, Spencer, and I'm keeping an eye on the player cams as well. Saw Fusion Bleach basically just pop up out of his chair there and then almost realize that you got 1 second left to play, right? We've seen that so many times in regulation sports, but there it is, folks, in orange, winner, Lumberjacks on your screen. And as chat mentioned earlier, don't call it a comeback, but we'll see how this shakes out as we pull up the stat sheet and load up game number 4.
Yeah, you know, 7 shots here for the Bemidji Lumberjacks. 7 as well for the Miracles. 7 apiece. 3 saves for the Lumberjacks. 2 for the Miracles. That 1 additional save for the Lumberjacks. It's going to be their savior here as we look to load up game number 4 between both these teams. And again, flashing, we talk about game number 3. Very important for the Bemidji Lumberjacks because now that mountain is not nearly so high to climb, especially in a best of 7 series.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's got to feel like a little bit of more breathing room for that team from Bemidji to work with as they get into game number 4 here. Be curious to see how the Miracles respond. But, you know, I had mentioned, you know, what if the Lumberjacks came out to an early lead? Well, that lead didn't come until 4 minutes and 59 seconds into the 3rd game, Spencer. So hard to see how the Miracles will respond with only 1 second left. Gee, I wonder. They'll go for the kickoff goal and throw up a few prayers, right? And things did not go their way. No lucky pinches there. No unnecessary kickoff goals. So as game number 4 gets under the way, we will see as this series, you know, keeps going. If game number 3 was kind of an anomaly, right? I'm not taking anything away from the Lumberjacks, and these goals can come as early as 1 second in, or, like I said, 4 minutes and 59 seconds in. But a goal's a goal, and a W is a W. So it doesn't matter what kind of win you put up or if it's a little bit of an anomaly. But you know, hey, the Lumberjacks will take it. Like I said, I'm not trying to take anything away from them. I'm just saying from the standpoint of from this series and staying competitive, can they replicate as they put everyone on the edge of their seat there as Fishy makes a save, you know, and can they kind of double down their efforts and ride this momentum as Trash demos Fishy, sends him back to the junkyard for a new car. Stewie trying to get something going for his team, content with letting that one just ride down to the earth there with only 14 boosts in the tank. Oh, good pass from the Lumberjacks, but unable to get everything on that one as Stewie, Fishy meet halfway through the field there. Stewie gonna win the 50, and with our first 60 seconds off the clock here, no one's scoring quite yet, and I feel like both teams have been forced to kind of hit the drawing board once again, knowing that I think, you know, once we got some of the first game jitters out of the way, right, and then the teams have had a little extra time with some of the production behind the scenes stuff getting fixed as well. You know, Spencer, I feel like this is where we find ourselves in the trenches of this best of 7 series, right? We made it to a game number 4. It's not quite a match point quite yet, and it's just, you know, this is where I feel like this is where you're going to see both teams shine and really reach deep in the bag of tricks to, you know, show why they deserve to be here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, if on the side of the Bemidji Lumberjacks too, I mean, you really want to just not let your foot off the gas pedal, because you just saw that, you know, they took game number 3, albeit in kind of a fluke situation, but again, scoring the first goal of game number 4, super important for the Bemidji Lumberjacks, because now it keeps that pressure on the, on the Minneapolis Miracles, as now Trash equalizing it with 3:06 to go, and that's exactly what you don't want if you're on the side of the Lumberjacks, is to relinquish that lead, even though there is still plenty of time. Now you kind of have to start from beginning and claw your way back to the top here in game number 4.
Yeah, absolutely. We're back to the metaphorical zeros on the board with 3:03 left on the clock as Fusion Bleach and Stewie meet each other in the corner. Stewie wins the best of that one. Caught up by Fishy, just stood there content being a wall as Trash and company try to send something over to that pesky corner. Doesn't quite meet the ground there as Fishy pops that one up. Fuego pops it up again, and Perg content with keeping that one in the air. We are going to have to take a look at a replay on this one because Fusion Bleach was in the net and ready, but I feel like that final touch from Stewie and, you know, we talk about bar down play sometimes where it's sometimes the post, doesn't matter what part of the post, can be unforgiving at times. I feel like the more uncommon one that you don't see as often is kind of that left or right post, right? Those bar downs, I feel like the players understand, you know, that it's either going in or it's going out. But sometimes that left or right post can be a little sneaky. As Perg makes a desperation save and a well-timed save there as well. As Trash settles it down for Stewie, and nothing sneaky about this one, Spencer. This is just pure textbook premier play in the finals.
Just a chef's kiss coming from Trash, dropping it down to Stewie. And blink and you miss it, folks. The Minneapolis Miracles all of a sudden a 2-goal lead over Bemidji here in game number 4. Ball now sent once again into the Bemidji side. Fishy looking to settle it down. 30 moves to work with, taken away by Trash, starting the counterattack for the Miracles off the back wall, looking for a teammate. Both of them kind of back in their own half. Now Fusion Bleach back towards the midline we go, taken away by Trash towards the net, coming off the back wall. Fuego is there, looking for one more touch. Isn't gonna get the flip reset. And the ball sent in towards the net by Stewie, and oh my goodness, Stewie here in game number 4, making a case for a series MVP.
Yeah, he's filling up the stat sheet. Got 2 goals, 1 assist, 1 save, and 3 shots. You know, almost everyone on that team actually has a full stat card. So they're putting in the work here, Spencer, in game number 4, trying to solidify their lead and wrap this up in short order as Perg thought about demoing Trash there just for a second. Takes a trained eye, folks. I can speak from experience while I continue my journey to 10,000 demos. I know somebody's got to do it, and I will fall on that sword, don't you worry. We are just shy of 9,000 demos for those curious at home in my personal Rocket League career. But like I was saying, it takes a trained eye to know when you're going for a demo there. So just watching out for the players, you know, in everyone's best interest of Thankfully, we have an excellent supplier. We know a guy who knows a guy, who knows a girl who knows a guy. Fantastic insurance for all players around. Wonderful junkyard services. Octanes, you know, just like you wouldn't believe. I wish we would get a few other cars in here, but by request, just Octanes and Fenix is the popular car of choice these days. But anyway, 60-second horn, one of our favorite horns, finally sounds here, Spencer. And Lumberjacks, got to get something going here. Not quite impossible, but Fuego plays like that is going to eat up the clock, and then that's exactly what the Miracles are going to try to do here in game number 4, is just eat up that clock.
Yeah, that's exactly what the 3-goal lead. That's all that the Miracles need to worry about. Not necessarily padding the stat sheet, just protecting your net and wasting time. Fuego down to the corner, taken away and sent towards Trash, back towards the face-off circle, dropping it down for Purg. Got to be careful. Sent in, looking for Trash. Purg is able to intercept that. Stewie gets the touch in, just lasers it back to Trash, who redirects it towards the net. Oh my goodness! Stewie came off the backside, sent that 75% of the way to Trash, who redirects it and catches Fusion Bleach out of position. And the dagger here in game number 4 as the Minneapolis Miracles take a 4-goal lead.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough pill to swallow in the final goings of game number 4 here for the Lumberjacks. Well, with 12 seconds left on the clock, momentum can be a killer and be your best friend at the same time. Where let's see if, final seconds here, Purg and company going to have one last ditch attempt there to see if they can swing momentum into their corner. Fusion Bleach with 1 second on the clock had a good idea there, sending it down basically center, center goal, but just perhaps a little too hot there, and the next closest available Lumberjack wasn't there in position. So 5-1 on your screen as we pull up the stat sheet, and I'll revisit what I said earlier, Spencer. Miracles dual complete, where all members of their team fill up an entire stat card, where the Lumberjacks not so much.
Yeah, 10 shots on net for the Minneapolis Miracles, 7 on the side of the Lumberjacks. But again, the defense of the Miracles solidified here, game number 4. And they also got those 4 assists as well, so solidifying their passing plays as well to get those down. Of course, we saw that phenomenal play from Stewie down to Fuego to Trash at the end of game number 4 to solidify their win. And I mean, at this point, of course, the Lumberjacks now at this point have to get the rest of the matches, the rest of the games to continue on here in this match. So we're going to head here into game number 5 between these two teams. And again, it's going to be interesting to see where exactly we take this here as we head to Champions Field in game number 5 between these two teams. The Minneapolis Miracles, the Bemidji Lumberjacks. Bemidji on their back heels, trying to keep their tournament hopes alive. Here we go. Ball's going to be sent in. Fishy isn't going to get the play in. Trash is going to look to settle it down. Sent in now away from the net. Now into the corner we go. Stewie going to get the touch in as well. Can't get the touch to get it towards the net though. The redirect comes in, but the save comes in from Fuego. Nice heads-up play by Fuego to keep it a scoreless game.
Yeah, Trash going to get up there and just barely backflips and awkwardly angles his car. Can't believe he got so much momentum on that one, but the Lumberjacks out of Bemidji there do make a valiant effort saving that one, not going down early in this game. And the announcer in the background here in Champions Field is just as emphatic as we are sometimes, Spencer. Every time that ball is saved at the last second, I can hear it in my game ever so slightly of just going wild, like it's the first time seeing a save. So he is not.
I got my casting style from.
Yeah, not an official member of the casting crew, but perhaps an unofficial member. As just a little high there from Purg. Fusion Bleach tried to give it a little extra there to put that one in, but they're going to have to go back to the drawing board once again as Trash, Stewie, and the rest of the Miracles trying to make something happen here. And as we... Oh, okay, there we go. That's one way to get things going. And derail my train of thought as a demo on your screen, and then Purg to Fusion Bleach, sending that one beautifully on the mark. 3:39 left on the clock, and the Lumberjacks, for the first time in this entire series, are leading with more than 1 second on the clock here, Spencer. And I've mentioned it ever since game 2 or 3 is how will the Miracles respond when they are down early, or the first ones to be down, I guess, however you want to phrase that, where the Lumberjacks actually have the lead. So a demo will certainly help, but can't do much about it if you can't take advantage of it. So Fuego going to pop that one up, plenty of boost in the tank. I believe he had a full 100, knocked away by Fusion Bleach. Fishy trying to keep this one alive for his team. A ball awkwardly floating across the middle there. Perg making a desperation save, and awkward pinch from Stewie, and less than 3 minutes on the clock here, Spencer. The Miracles, like I said, being forced to be on their back foot here as that one just floats over to the left side of the field there. Chaotic nonetheless. But like I said, less than 3 minutes on the clock, and Perg happy to double down here in the efforts, forcing the Miracles to be down 0-2 in game number 5.
Yeah, nice shot by Perg, just kind of catching the defense lacking here from the Minneapolis Miracles. 2:46 to go here in game number 5. Ball will be sent in now to the side of the Minneapolis Miracles. Perg looking to make him pay once again, looking for a third. Taken away by Stewie. Now back towards the midline we go. Sent in, looking to get sent in for Fuego. Looking for one more touch, can't get there. And the ball set towards the net. That's going to catch the corner from Stewie, an absolute snipe into the top left corner pocket. And my goodness, Stewie with the angle.
Yeah, it almost seems like that should have really never had a chance, but making the best out of nothing there as it was set up by Fuego. Backflip that's one up in the air, and then Stewie had more time than I think everyone thought he had. Is be able to kind of go wide right of that ball, kind of whip his car around in short order and just make a beautiful shot on net there, making it almost indefensible as well. Like I said, I'm surprised he had that much time to get that one off. And there's still 2 minutes left on the clock here, Spencer. They're playing like we only have 20 seconds left.
Yeah, now here comes Stewie centering it down the track. Can't get enough on it, now has to head back. Last man back, gotta be careful. Fusion Bleach is there, looks to get this centered in for a teammate. It's gonna get there, cut off by Perg, not able to get the shot in. Fuego now trying to get it out of the zone. Centered, saved by Stewie, that's his third of the game. Another centering pass coming in for Fusion Bleach. And now Trash, trying to get it out of the zone. He does, not looking to get it towards the net, taken away. Gonna flip to the right side of the net, cleared away. And now, here comes another centering pass, looking to get it down to Trash, who gets a touch, but nobody's there really to follow up. Fuego now looking to get it past Fusion Bleach, who puts it back to the side of the Miracles. Perg looking for a touch. Stewie backflips, that's gonna be trouble! And Fusion Bleach takes control of this contest with another goal, and Stewie is gonna want that one back.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be that backflip that really causes things to go awry for the Miracles, but Spencer, if we were to look at one back and almost like a VOD review, I think he was just out of the position from the start. He was the lone man back. He was outnumbered 2-1, and I feel like the Lumberjacks had a couple different options there. It was just aided them a little bit more when Stewie ended up backflipping. So potentially could have gone the other way, but a backflip never hurts. When I don't know. Words. I was like, man, a backflip never hurts. I was like, I don't know about that. Actually, a backflip hurts most of the time, and I can't do one in real life. So I feel like a backflip would hurt if I attempted to try one. I'm not going to try one anytime soon, folks. How's that for a recovery on the fly? So 30-second horn, finally getting a shout out here in our best of 7 series. We've been calling the 60-second horn, but how's that for a shout out? The 30-second horn finally gets some love here, and with 20 seconds left on the clock, Perg almost decisively seals game number 5 away, Spencer.
I feel like we just witnessed the first ever game of Windows 98 shutdown. All of a sudden just went completely blank.
I mean, I feel like nothing fixes me anymore, where I'm pretty good. I'd like to think I'm pretty good with my words on my toes, so to speak, and whatnot, but I'll admit when I just got egg on my face, usually, if I'm like, nope, we backed ourselves into a corner, and I cannot get myself out of this one, so we're just going to admit it. and then that's just a clever disguise for me to just buy myself some more time and eventually get out of the hole that I put myself in. So, yes, we have, proud to announce we have upgraded to Windows 99, folks. Stay tuned for all the latest updates as we go into sleep mode and look at the stat sheet.
Yeah, Bemidji Lumberjacks taking game number 5. 11 shots for the Lumberjacks, 7 on the side of the Miracles. 5 saves for the Lumberjacks, 6 on the side of the Miracles. But again, Bemidji just came out swinging, right away here in game number 5, and they desperately needed it. And again, that momentum shift starting to pendulum back and forth between these two teams. As we look to head into game number 6, it's still anybody's ballgame. Yes, Bemidji has to essentially win the rest of these matches, but again, winning game number 5, very important.
Yeah, absolutely, and they did it in convincing fashion, which I think was the most important part of that win. When we talk about a win's a win, doesn't matter by how much or at what point that happens in your game, but a little bit more satisfying when you win it by that margin. So, fresh 5 minutes on the clock. Neo Tokyo, one of my favorite maps to look at and play in personally. Fusion Bleach with an aggressive demo on Fuego, trying to set up the early goings for the Lumberjacks in game number 6, trying to force at game number 7. But the Miracles, Spencer, if I'm a betting man here, I'm betting the Miracles want nothing to do with a game number 7, and are just all everything's off the table. It's just everything's on the table, everything's off the table, whatever. They're trying to figure it out, right? They don't want to go to a game number 7, and they're going to put their best foot forward. So, first 30 seconds off the clock, trying to find a download for Windows 2000 because 99 wasn't working out. As Fishy and one of the members of the Miracles collide on the side of the Miracles side of their Lumberjacks to the field, excuse me. Beautiful save from the side of the Lumberjacks there. Ball lazily floating there. Fusion Bleach able to get that one away momentarily, gives up his car there. Stewie, trash. No one able to connect on that third and final attempt there. And 60 seconds off the clock here, game number 6. Could easily go either team's way. They definitely know what's at stake here tonight for the winners finals matchup.
Trash looking to get it centered up for Stewie. Can't get the touch in. Here comes Fuego. Gotta be careful. He's the last man back. Trash leading back. Fusion Bleach was looking for that final touch as well. Trash can't win the 50 ball, still in the side of the Miracles. Bump comes in off Stewie. Fuego has to head back, get that ball into the corner. Ball popped up now in front of the box. Berg is there, now looking for Fusion Bleach. Berg now can't get the touch in as well. Stewie looking to set it up for a teammate. Actually sent it towards the net. Fusion Bleach gets the save. And now a second attempt cut off by Berg. Was looking for a slam dunk by his teammate down by the net. Now Stewie will look to corral this here. Just kind of lazily touches it back towards the midline. Trash now able to get it in. Stewie looking for one more. Fuego pops it up, gets it off the crossbar, and now a pinch comes in. Berg is going to head the other way. Trash, last man back, going to pop it up into the air. Fuego waiting for the touch from Trash as well. But look to pop it up. Now take it away here again. Fishy, Berg as well. Everybody working here on the side of the Bemidji Lumberjacks. Half the match gone here so far, tied at 0 here in game number 6. Stewie popping it to the other side. Fusion Bleach looking to get it down to Fishy, who just pops it lazily in the air. Second attempt coming in, Trash gets the save. And now Fusion Bleach sends it in off the crossbar. Bar down. We've seen that plenty of times here in this series, and the Bemidji Lumberjacks take the lead in game number 6.
They sure do, and I thought Berg had that one, but Trash makes a last-minute save there, but too much pressure from the Lumberjacks, and with that, our very first goal of game number 6, more than half the game has expired here, so for both teams, we'll see how they respond. I know the Lumberjacks are leading in game number 6 here, but it took, like I said, over half this game for finally a team to score. Spencer, I feel like I was dozing off for a second because nothing was happening. No team was scoring for a second. If that was going to happen, I was going to reach into the caster suggestions, and that was going to be, everyone's going to have to change the engine sounds of their car to motor mouth, the cat sound, just all the god-awful engines you'd never want to hear when you're queuing up for your random games, just on the side, right? Just God, I feel like, man, I don't know what's worse, Motor Mouth or the cat one.
Oh, it's the cat one.
Yeah, you know, the more I think about it, and the more we talk about it, I think it's going to be the cat one because the Motor Mouth one is a little bit more comical, I guess. A little bit more. I can bear with that one a little bit more. Cat one just. I just thinking about it makes me cringe a little bit. But 90 seconds on the clock here, folks. Luckily for all of us involved tonight, we will not have to reach into the caster suggestion box to pump some excitement into this series because the Lumberjacks have scored a second goal against their opponents in the Minneapolis Miracles tonight. Good pop up from Perg there, a little bit of a redirect. Fuego settles that one down. Plenty of boost to take control of this one. Now he's got 0 in the tank. He's going to need some help on this one. And as we near 60 seconds of game number 6, folks, I called it earlier. I did not think this was going to go to a game 7. Never denied the potential of going to a game 7. I thought it would have been wrapped up in a little bit shorter time frame. But as things are shaking out so far, the Lumberjacks have the potential and the lead so far to push this to a game number 7. So with 44 seconds and counting, do the Miracles have what it takes to stop this in its tracks and potentially wrap this up in game number 6, or will the Lumberjacks send us to our first game 7 of the entire night?
30 seconds to go here in the contest, Stewie. Looking to try to get something going for the Miracles. All of a sudden, they are ice cold. 2 members missing of the Miracles. Last man is Fuego, who is able to get something back towards the face-off circle. Trash now going to look settled in. A bump comes in, and that's going to make the difference. Trash able to score with 15 seconds to go here in game number 6. So we'll look to see if the Minneapolis Miracles, can get that equalizer goal for that final horn sounds here. Now we'll head in back towards the face-off circle. Had a great opportunity, but Fusion Bleach able to get a touch in on it. Fuego needs to get it down the length of the field. Back towards the midline we go. Fusion Bleach popping it up into the air. Ball sent in. That is on net. Perg got to get one more touch. Trash pops it up into the corner. Gonna need some help. Perg gonna settle it down into the ground. And the Bemidji Lumberjacks will take game number 6. And we will head to a decisive game number 7 in the winner's final match here of Major number 1.
Oh boy, game 7 on tap. What a way to start the entire night and broadcast for the Season 7 Minnesota Championship Series tonight, folks, where as we pull up the stat sheet, a little less exciting compared to the other 5 games we had so far on tap tonight, but it does go in favor eventually of the Lumberjacks. Some way, somehow, we did force a game number 7, and I think this is going to play into kind of the seeding storyline, right? The Miracles number 4 seed defeating some of their upper ranked competition, and the Lumberjacks, as we mentioned in past broadcasts, Spencer, where just the 7 seed going on an unprecedented tear. Refusing to die, at times sweeping their opponents, but tonight so far, not the prettiest showing, but showing why they deserve to be here, why they deserve why they got this far in the first place. And boy, would they love to punch their ticket right now, right here to the grand final, not even messing with another matchup in the losers final, and they would inch that much closer to earning that much more points.
Yeah. Absolutely, those points ever so important here in this major. As we are just about set, ready to go here. Quick tech pause here, but I believe that has been solved here. So we're going to put 5 minutes on the clock. We head back to Champions Field, game number 7, winners finals. It is the Miracles. It is the Lumberjacks. Here we go. Ball sent in to the side of the Lumberjacks. Are going to give chase. Just settle it down for the Bemidji Lumberjacks. Fuego gonna bully that away from him. Now Stewie looking to set it up, looking for Fishy. Can't get there in time. And now Stewie still trying to get something going. Fusion Bleach now gonna send it in. Fuego is there, gets the save. Now looking for one more. He's gonna get it on the top of his car. He's gonna take it back to the midline. Send it back towards the face-off circle. Fusion Bleach settling it down. Nobody in net for the Miracles, and nobody can get there. A defensive miscue for the Miracles will cost them the first goal, 29 seconds into game 7.
Yeah, and for moments like this, just got to have a quick memory memory of a goldfish, as I say sometimes, where it doesn't matter if you're on that game 7 or you're, in your very first game. The moments like that are going to happen, just like those pesky kickoff goals, so those nasty pinches. So these teams have got to have a strong mental for moments like that, where, unfortunate, yes, but you got to hit the reset button in quick order. So for the Miracles, looking to do just that. Lumberjacks fought their way, clawed their way all the way back and forced the game number 7, potentially a reverse sweep on our hands, trying to call every hardware store in the local area, trying to buy every broom, mop, bucket they can find, because they are on a mission here and trying to bust out the brooms in a potential reverse sweep in our very first game matchup of the night.
Lumberjacks looking to get another one on the shot from Fusion Bleach. Now another shot coming in. Trash puts it off the back wall. Stewie puts it into the corner, looking to get something going for the Miracles. Centering pass not coming in. Trash not able to get a touch on it. Now going to leave it now for Stewie, who gets bumped off the ball by excuse me. And now ball sent in. Trash looking to just get it out of the zone. Sent right back towards the net. Fuego able to get the touch in. Purg now just keeping the pressure for the Bemidji Lumberjacks. Ball still floating near the box of the Miracles. And now Trash sending it up, looking to get one more touch in. Purg is going to greet him. To the corner we go. Fuego puts up the sidewall, looking to get it down to Stewie. Fuego now pops it up. Purg sends it into the corner where it awaits the touch by Trash. And now ball sent in. Stewie going to give chase. 45 boost to work with. Didn't get the touch on it. And now Fuego gives it for Trash, who's going to give it off the sidewall. Looks to get one more. Sends it a little bit too far for Fuego. And now Purg looking to get the touch in towards the net. He gets it. Ball centers right in front of the net. Here comes Trash with a desperation missile save. And now Stewie giving chase for now the Miracles. Just back and forth action flash here with just under 2.5 to go here in game number 7. And the Bemidji Lumberjacks just turning the offensive pressure up to 11.
Yeah, they sure are, and I almost thought they put on another one there because they had a beautiful passing play set up just seconds ago, but Fishy trying to set up another one of those, cut off by Fuego in short order. Another 50-50 there, midfield. Berg trying to get something going. Unfortunate, potentially unplanned touch there from the Miracles. Fishy able to keep this one alive once again, and less than 2 minutes on the clock. If I'm the Miracles, you got to make one more stout defensive save there, and Fuego does. But look for your opening, right? You don't want to hit the panic button too soon here. Yes, you didn't want to go to a game number 7, but you're here nonetheless. So I think that could be qualified for our first caster curse of the night. Miracles, your check is in the mail. And we'll just leave it at that. So don't worry, we have plenty more games, plenty more matchups, plenty more casting where guaranteed there's probably going to be another caster curse. Could be you, could be me, I don't know. Could be anybody, hard to say, hard to say. We'll try to limit them, folks, but we make no promises with our casting abilities. Sometimes, it's almost like I just stick my hand out, in just a quick fluid motion to see if I have like Jedi powers because of the unnatural canny ability to just, curse these teams at any given moment. Unfortunately, it does not extend any further than that. It's just the unfortunate ability to curse these teams. So I will keep trying to test out my unnatural powers and get back to you on that. 60 seconds on the clock, and Spencer, do or die time here literally for the Miracles if they want to have a fighting chance in game number 7 here.
Yeah, they're going to need to get something going here, get something going quick, because time rapidly ticking away for the Miracles. This ball now sent in, looking to get one more. 43 seconds now for the Miracles. Purg looking to get one more, sent away by Stewie. Fusion Bleach gets it back into the zone. Now a shot coming in for Purg. Sends it high above the net. And now with 30 seconds, Trash pops it up into the air. Fusion Bleach can't get there. Stewie trying to get there. Purg able to clear that one back into the Miracles zone. Fuego misplays it. Centering pass coming in. Fishy gonna leave it for Fusion Bleach. Gets the 100 boost. Fuego now going to set it up. Stewie backflips once again. 13 seconds to go here. Ball time ticking away. Final 10 seconds. Trash gets a first goal here for the Miracles, and albeit comes off the bottom, or the back, excuse me, of Fusion Bleach, but 10 seconds to go. You never know on the side of the Miracles. Fuego, Trash, and Stewie clenching their controllers as time ticking away here. Time coming in. Fuego looking to get one more. Time is still ticking. Now ball coming in. Looking for one more for Stewie. Ball is going to be sent in. Cleared away by Fishy. Fuego pops it into the air. Just kind of desperation. And now it's going to hit the turf. And the Bemidji Lumberjacks take down the Minneapolis Miracles in Game 7.
They sure do. And a little bit of speechless moment there.
Yeah.
Hard to believe the 7 seed has upset the 4 seed. Feel like we're having a little bit of belated March Madness here, where everyone but the 1 seed has made it to the finals here, and then they're just trying to sort out the details from there. But looking at the stat sheet a little bit, it's just it favored the Lumberjacks in that final game there, and. I mean, what do you say? Lumberjacks punched their ticket to the grand finals, and I mean, Spencer, at this point, I mean, yeah, the Lumberjacks want to win it all, but hell, if you finish second place, that's still a bunch of points. Like,
right.
You have been playing with house money for how long, and you just keep raking it in. Like, man, if I'm the Lumberjacks, I mean, I'm sure all they have on their mind right now is first place or bust, but just like. Again, from just a standings standpoint of just you're guaranteed just a crap ton of points here, no matter how you finish, because you made it to the grand finals. So, for them, I feel like it's a win regardless, just from our opinion. But Miracles, their route to the grand finals just got a little bit tougher with that heartbreaking Game 7 loss.
Yeah, Minneapolis Miracles now have to win out in the losers bracket to be able to determine if they're going to be headed back for a blood match, a rematch in the grand finals against the Bemidji Lumberjacks. So we're taking a look here at who we're going to be sending up next. And as it looks right now, the Duluth Superiors take down the Rochester Rhythm in game number 5, and St. Paul takes down Brainerd as well. So we are going to take a quick break, and we are going to get set. We are going to be headed down to the loser bracket as we head into the semifinal match. We are going to step away for one moment. We will be back with more of the Minnesota Championship Series.
Hand out she holds, it's feeling like we've been here before. We're both so broke, that's something that'll keep us afloat. Don't walk too slow, we can't keep falling deeper again. Came too close and the taste so far from pure. A rush of blood, but we search for so much more. We've all been here before. We've all been here before. We've all been here before. Hand out she holds, it's feeling like we've been here before. We're both so broke, that's something that'll keep us afloat. Don't walk too slow, we can't keep falling deeper again. Came too close and the taste so far from pure. A rush of blood, but we search for so much more. We've all been here before. 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 We've all been here
You've seen me here before, above the mountain tops. With every step I take, I show the world what I got. I feel alive again. I feel like it's a new chance, far from a wasteland. And I've got nowhere to be, so I'm waiting. I don't need a rush, I'm patient. However long it takes, I'll be there one day. Hey. Eternal, I'm alive and chasing whatever it is I'm facing. I can't walk away. There's so much left to say. Hey. Our story never has to end. Eternal, I'm alive again. We don't know what will happen tomorrow, but I hope a good surprise. I could flip all the time that I borrowed and make another life. You can break my stride. There's a palace in my mind, made a light, and it shows. Yeah, yeah. The stars are falling, skies are raining gold. Yeah, yeah. Forever I'm free, that's what could be. So I'm waiting. I don't need a rush, I'm patient. However long it takes. stand and watch the world go up in flames. We fight for love until we die in vain. When the sky is getting dark and we're broken in our hearts, when we build our own demise, from the ashes we will rise. When the world is falling down, will you be my solid ground? When the world is falling down, will you be my solid ground? Be my solid We look off the edge till the waves come crashing in, and we say our goodbyes to the tides that might have been. When the sky is getting dark and we're broken in our hearts, when we build our own demise, from the ashes we will rise. When the world is falling down, will you be my solid ground? When the world is falling down, will you be my solid ground?
Song's very big.
I know it's coincidental, but I'm getting kinda mental. Cause every time I'm busy, yeah, your mood goes straight south. When I try to reassemble, and you're not feeling level, but I can't be the only one that's helping you out. I didn't apply to sacrifice all of myself to you. And all of my time was wasted trying to be there to get you through. I'm working the night shift, spending all of my time helping your mind shift while I'm losing mine. Working the night shift, think I'm going blind. Cause every time you're crying, I can't see right. Clocking in till I'm all worked out. I got a psychic now, yeah, with a therapy couch. Pay you attention like I pay my rent. And when the last one sank, got a brand new tech. Try to give you the benefit, give you all of my credit, but I think we come to the end of it. You've been maxing it out. I don't have much to give. I'm working the night shift, spending all of my time helping your mind shift while I'm losing mine. Working the night shift, think I'm going blind. Cause every time you're crying, I can't see right. You fall asleep too fast. I I hope my head don't crash. Don't think that I can last. You're supported. Sometimes I need the same. Been falling through my brain. I gave myself away. 'Cause I need you. I thought this was a two-way track. Turned around and now there's no way.
Loser semifinals on docket here for the Minnesota Championship Series. Spencer Hart Snorlax joined again with Flash, and we are getting set for the loser semifinals between the Duluth Senators and the St. Paul Superior. Excuse me, the Duluth Senators. We are ready to go, and well, I tell you what, here during the middle of that in between, it's a fun time with these teams. Flash.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever been more excited when a sentence includes losers semifinal. I don't know if we can make this any more exciting, folks, but there's all the reasons to be excited in these, the losers semifinal matchup, because that means you still actually have a chance to make it to the actual grand finals and win against the Bemidji Lumberjacks, waiting for our final game tonight. So to lay it out for you folks here tonight, we just finished up with the Bemidji Lumberjacks and Minneapolis Miracles. Again, the Bemidji Lumberjacks winning that one in a best-of-7 series, going all the way to the distance of a Game 7, and so the Lumberjacks have earned the right to take a little bit of a breather and wait for their final opponent here in the grand finals. Next up on the docket is the St. Paul Senators and Duluth Superiors, which you're watching right now in the semifinal matchup. Winner of this will go on to face in our third matchup tonight against the Minneapolis Miracles. So they get to face a, I don't know if pissed off is the right word, but it's probably close enough to describe the feelings of the Miracles. So good luck, Senators and Superiors, whoever has to face the Miracles that wait for them in the losers final. So if that wasn't confusing enough for you folks, I'll try to simplify it here. Winner of this in a best of 5, yes, 5 for this matchup, will face off against the Miracles in our third matchup of the night. That'll be a best of 7. And then the winner of that will go on to the grand finals to face off against the Lumberjacks. And as you mentioned earlier, Spencer, we could see a rematch, a blood match of the Miracles and the Lumberjacks. We'll just see if that actually ends up happening. But back to the action in front of our very own eyes. We have the Senators in Ches, Fours, and one Ohioan, not Wisconsinite, Bubbly Reaper, taking on the Superiors of Volt Destroyer, Caden, and Marty. 2 minutes off the clock there, and a lazy floater there. Marty cuts that one off with a beautiful save there, and back and forth action here. Both teams trying to get something going here and secure that first goal for their team.
Yeah, Fours looking to start here for his team. Now again, the Senators here in blue. Look at this to get something going here. Both defenses really settling down in their own respective zones. We talk about field domination, if you will. Really 50-50 at this point for both teams. So again, a lot of time still left to go here in this matchup for either of these teams to really get things going here for the team. Four sending in a shot. Marty trying to get it out of the zone. Volt Destroyer looking to send it down to Marty, who's going to look to get it towards Caden. Sent high above the net. Fours looking to settle it down here. Volt, last man back, got to be careful. Looking to send it in. Volt Destroyer sent in now, trying to get something stagnated right in front of the net. Fours sends it in, looking for a teammate. Nobody home for the Senators is Bubbly Reaper. Trying to keep it in the zone. He does. Now sent in just wide left of the net. 1:45 to go here, Flash. Again, both teams just really just leaning on their defensive back halves, just waiting for the other team to blink.
Yeah, it's. I think that's exactly the case where I don't think any team has really been completely out of position, caught with their pants down. It's just been a struggle, a real tug of war, if you will, where the ball gets ever so close to the goalpost. But the goalpost is not giving away any freebies in game number 1 here tonight to either team. Impartial so far. Keep an eye on the goalpost, folks, though. We've had it betray us, and we've had it be our best friend at the same time. So for now, an impartial goalpost on both ends of the field as a high one goes across for the Superiors. 1 minute and counting left on the clock there. And it's just, we could go to an overtime with zeros on the board. It's unlikely to happen, but we have seen it happen before as everybody trying to corral themselves here on the side of the Superiors as Marty tries to get something going for his team. Chez does demo Volt Destroyer. We'll see if Fours and company can make something happen out of a potential power play, but took too long to get to the other side of the field there, and by that time the Superiors were able to recoup and get all members back. As I say that, Bubbly Reaper eats a demo. We'll see if they're able to take advantage of the power play, but ball just continues to cross the length of the field here, Spencer, and not really in the direction of the goal until these final seconds. Marty is going to get credit for this one. We'll take a look at how this broke down.
Yeah, it is just kind of all 3 members of the Senators pushed up way too far. Marty just kind of snuck behind the defense, and 14 seconds to go here. And the Superiors hold that 1-0 lead. Marty will look to send it in. Back towards the Senators' side, looking to just kind of twist the knife. Ball now sent in into the other half. Fours is there, flips it in. It may go in, saved by Caden. Chez looking to get it in as well. Caden able to get it away from his net. Giving a shout out to his mom in chat, who's here. Caden just looking to flip it in towards the goal, and it's still in the air. A 1-goal lead is not safe with zeros on the board. Caden fires it into the ground, and game number 1 goes to the Superiors.
Sure does, and as we pull up the stat sheet briefly, Caden had the Enforcer title before it disappeared there, just playing bumper cars with everybody. Not a lot of demos, but that's the next best thing there as we do transition over to the stat sheet. Spencer, the Senators outpaced the Superiors with shots on net, but at the end of the day, it didn't matter. Superiors take away the win with only just a 1-goal lead.
Yeah, and that's the thing, a very close game, and just that one mistake from the Senators setting all 5 members up, costing them this match here in game number 1 as we look to head to game number 2. And again, we are going to head to the Forbidden Temple here between these 2 teams here as we set things up here for a game number 2 matchup. Again, both teams, again, had a very good defensive showing. So we'll look to see if either one of those teams can kind of lean on their offense here in game number 2 as we load up here at Forbidden Temple.
Yeah, absolutely. I expect in game number 2 here with the Superiors leading so far in this series, I expect for the offense for both sides to take a little bit better form, right? To take shape, if you will, because game 1 was a heavily defensive battle for both teams, and it took a mistake of all things for that to finally go one team's ways. So at least in my opinion, I expect the offense to get going for both sides here as Caden from the bottom corner of the camera came in and I think he just wanted some screen time at that point, Spencer. Trying to get the ball away and perhaps a demo, got absolutely nothing except a little bit of screen time. Oh my God.
He came screaming into the shot.
Holy cow, I did not expect. That's like being on live TV and a bird just comes swooping in a little too close for comfort. Holy cow, 60 seconds elapsing here on the game number 2 here as we try to collect ourselves, and Chez, good redirect there, cut off by Volt Destroyer from the Superiors. Chez able to send up a passing play there, but cut off by Caden, finally does make something happen there once he was able to collect the ball. Bubble Reaper, hometown favorite from Ohio and Wisconsin, depending who you ask, trying to get something going for his team. And, if I may, Spencer, we didn't call his name a whole lot in game number 1. Bubble Reaper, usually a player that we do tend to call his name a little bit more often in these games, but so far just been a little quiet.
Yeah, you know, first of all, we're 100% sending Bubbly Reaper a Wisconsin shirt at some point. You would be, because boy, oh boy, we love to tease that man. We always thought he played in Wisconsin, but little did we know we were horribly wrong. But no, absolutely, we're looking to see here if Bubbly Reaper, you know, he's been dominant a lot during this major. See if he can step it up here in game number 2. Is now the ball sent in. Force. He's going to try to make another touch on it. Can't get there. Into the corner we go. Bubbly Reaper looking to send it in. Sends it wide left. Force is there. Looking to center it. Maybe possibly to a teammate. Chez going to try to come in. Caden able to clear that one away for his 3rd save of the game. And now Volt Destroyer. Caden sends it back towards the midline. Looking for one more touch. Cleared away by Chez. Or to Chez, I should say. Towards the net. Looking for a teammate. Nobody there. As Bubbly doesn't get the touch. Gotta be careful. Nobody back, but Marty hit it just a bit too far. And Volt Destroyer can't get the touch, and now the counterattack starts for the Superiors. It's now a ball sent in. Caden looking to get it back in the zone. Set right back and forth action here in game number 2 as Volt Destroyer looking to settle it down. Caden gets the touch in, back towards the face-off circle. Now, just an absolute bullet sent off the corner of Doom. Dropped down right in front of the net. Bubbly Reaper able to get Volt Destroyer back to the junkyard. Now Caden looking for one more touch. Gets the flip reset. Pops it up. Trying to get it down to a teammate. Sent in by Marty, who's going to try to get it in. Force gets the save. Second opportunity. Sent in by Caden. And he will score for the Superiors with 1:44 to go here in game number 2.
Yeah, looking at the replay there, I think Chez thought, you know, this was a do-or-die situation, and he's got to get up and make that save. But perhaps a little bit of miscommunication for the Senators, as Forrest was still on the wall just above the crossbar and easily able to make that save. So what that does is, yes, the Senators make that save, but at that point Chez is committed, and you still have Bubbly Reaper in the goal. But just from a positioning standpoint, it has thrown things off ever so slightly. So although the Senators were there in full force, you can see how easily things are just thrown off, just even by the smallest of margins, where, like I said, Forrest makes that save, Chez is committed, and Bubbly Reaper, yes, he is in the goal, but he's at the mercy of what was then Caden to really put it anywhere he wanted on the net. So it's just easy goal there for the Superiors, taking advantage of that situation. Really can be a game of inches, despite, like I said, having all 3 members in the goal. Looks can be a little deceiving there. So good on the Superiors to capitalize on that situation. Senators looking to clean up some of those plays, whether it be miscommunication or just a little bit of positioning. Because those are the plays that do matter, you know, in games like this when we get to semifinals and finals types games. As the Superiors kind of playing with their food there with less than 60 seconds, showing excellent ball control and 44 seconds and counting. If the Senators want, you know, any hope of staying in this series, Spencer, even if they drop game number 2, they would love to score a goal here in the final going.
Right, you gotta be careful though, because again, this is a best of 5 series, so dropping game number 2 again would mean that you're going down to match point pretty quickly. So again, still not a lot of time left. Senators need to get one on the board. They need to get one on the board now. Chez looking to send it in. Final time ticking away, 10 seconds to go. Settled down right in front of the net. Ball's gonna head to the other side of the field with time ticking away. That should do it here in game number 2. The time expires. The ball is going to hit the turf. And the Superiors take game number 2 and look to sweep the Senators here in this series.
Yeah, and as we pull up the stat sheet, folks, we were coming off a game you did not see on stream. The Superiors, if I have this correct, had beaten the Rhythm to advance, where, you know, the Rhythm and Superiors, I believe, that 1 and 2 seed near the top there, where the Senators flew past the Brainerd Victory to get here as well. So, you know, the Superiors looking like the team that they're supposed to be, taking care of the Rhythm earlier off stream, one of the higher ranked teams, and then just making, so far, quick work of the Senators. So we'll see if the Spears can keep up this hot streak. And when you got 7 shots on net, not quite double digits, but when the other team's only putting out 5 and doesn't get much else going, I mean that's sometimes all it takes for the side of Caden, Bolt Destroyer, and Marty to lock up a Game 2 win.
Yeah. So again, we will look to head here into game number 3 with the Senators on with the Superiors on a very quick match point. So we are going to head now to DFH Stadium here for game number 3 and what could be the last match of this series here between the Superiors and the Senators. We'll go ahead and put 5 minutes back on the clock for this series. Senators, Superiors, DFH Stadium. Here we go. Ball's going to be sent here into the side of the Senators. Ball settled down. Marty looking to put it off the corner of Doom straight down. Looking for a teammate. He will get Caden, who scores on a bullet from the tippy top of the stadium. And then we'll look to send up the Superiors 1-0.
Sure does, and it doesn't get any better than that. Fours, you saw in the replay, comes screaming in right to left, crossing motion, trying to make an attempt on that, but ball just too fast for him. The Marty to Caden connection as clean as it gets, and not an easy angle either. So quick shout out to chat once again. If you're just joining us, match point between the Senators and Superiors. Superiors leading this best of 5 series 2-0. So this is match point. If they can put it away, they will punch their ticket into the losers final bracket and have another shot to get into the grand finals where the Bemidji Lumberjacks will await them. Marty with a redirect of his own gonna send his squad up 2-0 and like I was saying, as we mentioned the chat, the Volt Destroyer's mother is also in the chat. You love to see it. Folks, for those in the stream, off-stream, players, casters alike, production, Mom's Day, as they refer it to, is coming up in 2 weeks' time. Don't forget, there's your free reminder. So shout out to all the mothers, Caden's mom, Bolt Destroyer's mom, even my mother. She's not here watching tonight, but she has tuned in, brother, for some of our streams from time to time. So although I am not currently playing my mother, I do love her so. Does tune in to watch me do what I do best, and that's just talk in a very competitive setting. So shout out to all the moms there and other parents, guardians, dads, whoever that figure is in your life. Shout out to all of them. They do so much for us. So 3:30 on the clock there, and Spencer, as we transition back into the action here, breakaway here for Caden. Bubbly Reaper does make a necessary save there, but Bubbly Reaper and the Senators on the back foot here, knowing what's at stake, trying to get something going. They've been trying to get something going the last 2 games, but just haven't found the right solution. So, albeit do or die time, do they find that in game number 3, or do they get, sent home early?
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point here, I mean, if I'm on the side, if I'm on the side of the Senators, I mean, I got to get something going and quick, because right now this has been nothing but the Superiors here in really this entire series, especially now here in game number 3, where the Senators, I mean, yes, they've had more touches on the ball, but again, they're not as meaningful as the Superiors have had. Again, the age-old, you've got more, but quantity over quality, that kind of thing, really not so much prevalent in Rocket League. Is you got to get those good touches to be able to at least have a shot here in this match. So Forge looking to settle it down and try to get it out. Caden just going to pop it up, send it towards the net. Chez will get the save. Now Bubbly Reaper centers it for the opponent, and Volt Destroyer in front of his mom will commit thievery and snipe this ball into the net over 4s to send the Superiors up 3-0.
I mean, I won't tell if you won't tell. I mean, we'll just whatever. Spencer, I got siblings. If sometimes, hey, whatever mom and dad don't know, doesn't always hurt them. If you steal an extra chocolate bar out of the pantry, who's gonna know, right? I mean, somehow they always know, but like in that moment, it's like, we won't tell them. There's no way they're gonna know. So who knows if that holds up in Rocket League? But you know, it's we'll see. So Caden collects this one, meets Bubbly Reaper in the corner. High pinch, does get a fortunate passing play out of that one. Ches came in a little hot on that one, kind of knowing what's at stake. Almost a panic shot there, but unable to capitalize fully. And the scoreline still sits at 0-3, favoring the Superiors. So as we round out 90 seconds and counting, again, it's been a tale of the Superiors and their dominance. The Senators trying anything at this point as more time expires, and sooner or later the clock is not going to be their friend. It's certainly at this moment not their friend, but as more time expires, they're going to learn the hard way if they don't get something on the board and get it now. But you know, when there's the Superiors, the goal of the game at this point is just playing keep away, and so far they're doing a good job at that.
Yeah, with the 60-second horn sounds, time rapidly ticking here for the Senators. Is again with a 3-0 lead for the Superiors. I mean, it's all about elementary at this point, unless you can get something going and get it pretty quickly. But again, with really just the dominance of the Superiors here in game number 3, this game really not looking to go the way the Senators as the 30-second horn sounds. Ball that we sent in by 4s. Marty will send it right back. Volt Destroyer is there. Can't get the touch on it. Ches will leave it for Marty. Set wide left of the net. And now 4 is trying to get it out of the zone. Will be centered up. Final 10 seconds here in game number 3. And it's all elementary at this point. The Superiors will go on and face the Minneapolis Miracles for the right to see Bemidji Lumberjacks in the grand finals.
They sure will, and I think I'm going to put Wolf on the spot and see if we can't pull up the earlier bracket of how we got